moving on to MJ Design mulching, and we can pick on ours just as much as anyone. Unfortunately, we did not plant this, but you want to see the root flare. So you want to see on every single plant in the entire world has a root flare. Very hard to see on small plants like flowers, annuals, perennials. Trees, it's much easier. As the tree goes down, roots go out. So you can actually see on this pear tree where it's starting to flare out. So that's good. That's the top of the root zone. That should be the top of the soil level. Plants did not, Mother Nature did not create mulch. Man created mulch. So we don't want all that leaf litter or mulch or anything on the root crown. That just promotes rot. Just like your bathroom, if it's wet all the time, you got goo and dirt, it's gonna mold and get yucky. Same thing with plants. If we get all that built up on there, it will rot. It takes a long time, probably 5 to 10 years, but it eventually could rot where the tree falls over. We see that a lot on properties we take over, where the crown and the trunk is just rotting away. And at some point, you just have to throw the plant away because it's too beat up. But you want to maintain a 3 to 4 inch layer of mulch. So there's the top of soil. Guys did a good job. We're probably about right at 3 inches. A tree, which is a bigger animal, bigger plant, it can tolerate a little bit more mulch. Its root system probably goes to sue the photographer 8 to 10 feet past this trunk, way outside this tree ring. So 3 to 4 inches of mulch out here is not going to hurt anything. All it's going to do is hopefully prevent weeds growing in from this. Weeds aren't going to grow as much in the mulch as they are in bare dirt. So the thicker it is, the less likely for weeds to grow. Plus, you get a lot of movement with a mower, air movement, blower. If you put it too thin, by the end of the season, there'll be no mulch left. The big thing we do, a difference with our mulch, is we stir the mulch ahead of time before we put a new layer down. So we'll go look at another spot, but that way it's hard to tell between last year's and this year's mulch. As you turn it over, all the dyed or faded from the sun mulch gets turned over, and it tends to be a little bit darker. So even if we miss a spot or it gets a little thin, it gets hard to tell between last year and this year's mulch. And that also makes it very loose. You don't have that hard pan of the old mulch beat down from air and just the weight of the mulch itself and just mother time. So that top layer, I can go 2 or 3 inches into the soil and I got 6 inches of fluff. That knife is a 6-inch blade. So I can tap it down a little bit. I probably have almost 7 inches of fluff for that tree to grow in. Much better than the hard pan everywhere else. All my weight, I can only get about 2 inches into this client's lawn. So much harder. It's the clay that the builder left. So the more we can get that soft fluffiness for the tree, the happier it's going to be.